Hello, friends, welcome back. And to those who are new, who have newly subscribed my channel, thank you so much for your love and support and encouragement. My name is Hauri Horangve. It's a Bible name meaning universe. Recently, I have started this Bible reading vlog, and I am trying to do it almost every day. I've completed two books and I'm in the third book. Today I'll be reading Leviticus 22 and 23. Leviticus 22. The holiness of the offerings. The Lord commanded Moses to say to Aaron and his sons, "You must not bring disgrace on my holy name, so treat with respect the sacred offerings that the people of Israel dedicate to me. I am the Lord. If any of your descendants, while he is ritually unclean, comes near the sacred offering which the people of Israel have dedicated to me, he can never again serve at the altar. This applies for all times to come. I am the Lord. None of the descendants of Aaron who has a dreaded skin disease or a discharge may eat any of the sacred offerings until he is ritually clean. Any priest is unclean if he touches anything which is unclean through contact with a corpse, or if he has any emission of semen, or if he has touched an unclean animal or person. Any priest who becomes unclean remains unclean until evening, and even if then, he may not eat any of the sacred offerings until he has had a bath. After the sun sets, he is clean, and then he may eat the sacred offerings, which are his food. He shall not eat the meat of any animals that has a natural death or has been killed by wild animals. It will make him unclean. I am the Lord. All the priests shall observe the regulations that I have given, otherwise they will be guilty and die, because they have disobeyed the sacred regulations. I am the Lord, and I make them holy. Only a member of a priestly family may eat any of the sacred offerings. No one else may eat them, not even someone staying with a priest or hired by him. But a priest's slave, bought with his own money or born in his home, may eat the food the priest receives. A priest's daughter who marries someone who is not a priest may not eat any of the sacred offerings, but a widowed or a divorced daughter who has no children and who has returned to live in her father's house as a dependent may eat the food her father receives as a priest. Only a member of a priestly family may eat any of it. If any person who is not a member of a priestly family eats any of the sacred offerings without intending to, he must repay the priest its full value plus an additional 20%. The priest shall not profane the sacred offerings by letting any unauthorized person eat them. This would bring guilt and punishment on such a person. I am the Lord, and I made the offerings holy. The Lord commanded Moses to give Aaron and his sons and all the people of Israel the following regulations. When any Israelite or any foreigner living in Israel presents a burnt offering, whether in fulfillment of a vow or as a free will offering, the animal must not have any defects to be accepted. It must be a male without any defects. If you offer any animal that has any defect, the Lord will not accept it. When anyone presents a fellowship offering to the Lord, whether in fulfillment of a vow, or as a free will offering, the animal must be without any defect if it is to be accepted. Do not offer to the Lord any animal that is blind or crippled or mutilated, or that has a running sore or a skin eruption or scalps. Do not offer any such animal on the altar as food offering. As a free will offering, you may offer an animal that is stunned or not perfectly formed, but it is not acceptable in fulfillment of a vow. Do not offer to the Lord any animal whose testicles have been crushed, cut, bruised, or torn off. This is not permitted in your land. Do not offer as a food offering any animal obtained from a foreigner. Such animals are considered defective and are not acceptable. When a calf or a lamb or a kid is born, it must not be taken from its mother for 7 days, but after that it is acceptable as a food offering. Do not sacrifice a cow and its calf or a sheep and its lamb for a god and its kid on the same day. When you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord, follow the rules so that you will be accepted. Eat it the same day and leave none of it until the next morning. The Lord said, Obey my commandments. I am the Lord. Do not bring disgrace on my name, on my holy name. All the people of Israel must acknowledge me to be holy. I am the Lord, and I made you holy, and I brought you out of Egypt to become your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus 23. The religious festivals. The Lord gave Moses the following regulations for the religious festivals. When the people of Israel are together for worship, you have 6 days in which to do your work, but remember that the seventh day, the Sabbath, is a day of rest. On that day, do not work, but gather for worship. The Sabbath belongs to the Lord. No matter where you live, proclaim the following festivals at the appointed times: Passover and unleavened bread. The Passover, celebrated to honor the Lord, begins at sunset on the 14th day of the first month. On the 15th day, the festival of unleavened bread begins. And for 7 days, you must not eat any bread made with yeast. On the first of these days, you shall gather for worship and do none of your daily works. Offer your food offerings to the Lord for 7 days. On the seventh day, you shall again gather for worship, but you shall do none of your daily work. When you come into the land that the Lord is giving you, and you harvest your corn, take the first sheaf of the priest to the priest. He shall present it as a special offering to the Lord, so that you may be accepted. The priest shall present it the day after the Sabbath. On the day you present the offering of corn, also sacrifice as a burnt offering a 1-year-old male lamb, and has no defects. With it you shall present 2 kilograms of flour mixed with olive oil as a food offering. The smell of this offering is pleasing to the Lord. You shall also present with it an offering of 1 liter of wine. Do not eat any of the new corn, whether raw, roasted, or baked into bread, until you have brought this offering to the Lord. This regulation is to be observed by all of your descendants from all times to come. The Harvest Festival. Count 7 full weeks from the day after the Sabbath, on which you bring your sheaves of corn to present to the Lord. On the 50th day, the day after the seventh Sabbath, present to the Lord another new offering of corn. Each family is to bring 2 loaves of bread and present them to the Lord as a special gift. Each loaf shall be made of 2 kilograms of flour baked with yeast, and shall be presented to the Lord as a food, as an offering of the first corn to be harvested. And with the bread, the community is to present 7 1-year-old lambs, 1 bull, and 2 rams, none of which may have any defect. They shall be offered as a burnt offering to the Lord, together with a grain offering and a wine offering. The smell of this food offering is pleasing to the Lord. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male and 2 1-year-old male lambs as a fellowship offering. The priest shall present the bread with the 2 lambs as a special gift to the Lord for the priest. These offerings are holy. On that day, do none of your daily work, but gather for worship. Your descendants are to observe these regulations for all times to come, no matter where they live. When you harvest your fields, do not cut the corn off the edges of the field, and do not go back to cut the ears of the corn that were left. Leave them for poor people and foreigners. The Lord is your God. The New Year Festival. On the first day of the seventh month, observe a special day of rest, and come together for worship when the trumpets sound. Present a food offering to the Lord, and do none of your daily work. The Day of Atonement. The 10th day of the seventh month is the day when the annual ritual is to be performed to take away the sins of the people. On that day, do not eat anything at all. Come together for worship and present a food offering to the Lord. Do not work on that day, because it is a day for performing the rituals to take away sin. Anyone who eats anything on that day will no longer be considered one of God's people. And if anyone does any work on that day, the Lord Himself will put him to death. This regulation applies to all your descendants, no matter where they live, from sunset on the 9th day of the month to sunset on the 10th. Observe this day as a special day of rest, during which nothing may be eaten. The festivals of shelter. The festivals of shelters begin on the 15th day of seventh month and continues for 7 days. On the first of these days, come together for worship and do none of your daily work. Each day for 7 days, you shall present a food offering. On the 8th day, come together again for worship and present a food offering. It is a day for worship, and you shall do no work. These are the religious festivals on which you honor the Lord by gathering together for worship and presenting food offerings, burnt offerings, grain offerings, sacrifices, and wine offerings. As required day by day, these festivals are in addition to the regular Sabbaths, and these offerings are in addition to your regular gifts, your offerings in fulfillment of vows, and your free will offerings that you give to the Lord. When you have harvested your fields, celebrate this festival for 7 days, beginning on the 15th day of the seventh month. The first day shall be a special day of rest. On that day, take some of the best fruits from your trees, take palm branches and the branches of leafy trees, and begin a religious festival to honor the Lord your God. Celebrate it for 7 days. This regulation is to be kept by your descendants for all times to come. All the people of Israel shall live in shelter for 7 days, so that your descendants may know that the Lord made the people of Israel live in simple shelter when he led them out of Egypt. He is the Lord your God. So, in this way, Moses gave the people of Israel the regulations for observing the religious festivals to honor the Lord. So, this will be my today's reading, and I wish you all stay blessed, and let us pray for each other and become closer to Him by staying connected every day with the Bible, with God's Word. So, thank you so much for your support once again, and I will see you in my tomorrow's reading. So, thank you. Bye bye.